Welcome to A Journey into Yoga. I'm Susan Rubenstein. Today our practice is designed for you. So when I say that, my intention is for you to come to your mat in a loving, caring way and take care of what your needs are. Yoga is a wonderful way to feel the connection through the poses, the physical, but it also taps into the emotional aspect, the higher self. It teaches us self-care, which is something that as our busy lives go on and we go from the beauty of summer into fall into winter and we get busier with our schedules, we take less and less time for ourselves. But when you come to the mat, you can't help but take care of yourself by listening to your breath, by finding movement and pleasure in active poses or stillness. So there are so many wonderful modalities in the world of yoga. So I thank you for joining me today. So with that, all you need is comfortable clothing. It's best to practice in bare feet, but I know some people feel a little bit more safe just starting something off with socks on until they get used to the feeling of being on your feet. And then don't hesitate if you want to have a light, soft shoe on as well, especially if you don't have a mat underneath you. I am here at the beautiful Flower Bridge here in Simsbury, Connecticut, and it's a gorgeous fall day, so taking my practice outside to me is a gift. This is something that I'll remember and I'll savor, and I'll use this image for those cold days when my practice has to be inside. So here I am, standing in what we call mountain pose. So think about the strength of a mountain, how it supports you. So that's how I want you to think about holding your body. Now, it's always a good idea, though, that if you have never tried yoga before, maybe just spend this first time watching the show. Get a feel of how it goes. Listen to the different verbiage. Yoga has its own language, but pretty much you'll get used of what those words are, and they're pretty universal. It's also a really important idea if you're just starting an exercise program, maybe to run something by your doctor. Find out if you have any issues with your blood pressure, anything going on with your heart, anything that you need to be concerned about, because you really want to take care of yourself the best way that you can. All right? So with that, let's stand. Let's find a comfortable stance. Kind of rock your feet back and forth. Good. So this is great to get the juices flowing in the legs. Now we're massaging the bottoms of our feet. So how often do we really do that, right? We wake up in the morning, our foot hits the floor, we put our socks on, we slide into our shoes, and off we go. But do we really take the time to massage through the feet to feel what's going on? And then I'm going to have you just take one foot and kind of stretch it back behind you. Oh, I love this because it stretches the arch of the foot into the toes. And then walk that foot in, and then take the other one. Good. Now, I'm going to take my hands out, inhaling. And when I inhale, I'm bringing the breath along. So I want your breath to be full and alive and filled with light. And exhale, bring your arms down. Good. So we can let our head follow as we inhale. And then exhale. So we incorporate our breath with movement. And that's really important. We always want to keep our breath active and alive. Let's do this again. Now this time, turn your palms out and then exhale, press your hands back. Scoop the palms forward as if you're scooping up a big bundle of energy. And then letting it spill right over the top of you and press back. Good. Inhaling again to lift up, arching through back, lifting the ribs, exhaling. Let's do that again. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling. Twice more. Inhaling. Exhaling. Let's do that one more time, taking a deep breath in. And now let the arms circle around. Good. Now, I'm going to have you roll your shoulders back. Place your fingers right on top of your shoulders. Start to move your elbows. And in moving your elbows, think about how that feels in your shoulders. Right? Moving through our shoulder sockets. This is really good to get fluid going. So when our body is active and we're moving energy through it and fluid, we feel less stiff, less congested. And then take those arms out. Good. Now I'm just going to have you reach up and then gently turn, using your chest more than your back to turn. And then come up Come to the other side. Let's do that again. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. And now this time, let yourself come up. As we exhale and we softly turn now, we're going to open the arms. And now a little bit more turn through the waist. Palms are going to lift. We're going to inhale, come up to center. Gently turning. So now we're going into a little bit of a deeper twist here, but listen to your back body. If it's too extreme, pull back, soften. Inhaling again. Exhale, turning to open. Inhaling, arch back. And then exhaling. Good. Take the arms up. Now as we exhale, drop the arms down. Now, with our shoulders down, let's take a deep breath in, lift one leg up. Thinking about stork pose, and then bring the leg down. We're going to inhale the other side up. So notice how we're shifting our weight from one side to the other. Coming in. Good. So this is a great way to bring energy into your spine and to find balance. So we work from our navel center, our center of gravity. I'm going to do that one more time. Good. And then come up. Now, let the arms stay lifted. Take a full breath in. Bring the knee up. Tap down. Now this time, keep the knee lifted. Coming into stork pose. Bring the arms up. So a little bit of balance. If you feel like your balance is a little bit off, it might be a good idea to practice near a chair or a wall. But don't get frustrated. Just find the support of your standing leg. Feel that energy come into your body. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Let's shake the legs out a little bit. Moving those hips. Enjoying the gorgeous sunshine. Light can bring so much energy into our body. So we all know how that feels in the wintertime when we are just inside the gray and the dark. How it's just on a beautiful sunny day, how we just step outside and we stand there for a few minutes and take in that light. We all need to experience that. That brings a lifting sense to our moods, our personalities, and how we feel with our overall self-care. So let's take that other side. We're going to lift the arms up, inhaling. As we exhale now, starting to bring the knee up. So this time I've held the arms up. As we come into stork pose, we draw the navel into the spine. Listening to our breath. Being patient. Yoga is about being kind to ourselves. It's about having fun. It's not looking for the perfect pose or thinking that we have to do everything just like the person next to us if we're in a class. It's really about you, again, an expression of self. Let's bring that down and then move. Good. So, yoga can also be filled with some wonderful strength. So a great way to tone the lower body is what we call awkward chair. So I want you to spread your toes and kind of get your weight into the legs. So we're really grounding down. So when we talk about grounding ourselves into the earth, it helps us to feel more centered. We all live very busy lives, and sometimes we feel like we're in a whirlwind, in a tunnel, or in the center of the eye of a storm. We need to think about finding that calmness in the center of the eye of the storm instead of just swirling around. So grounding poses can help us with that. So let's bend the knees. Chest lifts, shoulder blades come back. We're going to slowly lift the arms up. Drop the shoulders down and open the heart. So we build a little bit of stamina here. Finding endurance in the body. Breathing in. Breathing out. Slowly lowering down a little bit more. Ribs are lifted. If you feel too much tension in your upper body, bend your elbows. It's okay. Drop your arms. It's okay. Just make sure that you feel good and connected with yourself. So we come up out of this pose, we inhale, and then exhale. Good. So let's add a little bit of fluid movement, all right? So we're going to stand in mountain pose, the first pose that we began with. We're going to inhale strongly into mountain pose. Exhale, we're going to slowly turn into that twist, so we open up. Inhale, scoop the arms back up. Exhale, start to turn to the other side to twist. Good. Listen to your back, your lower back. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, finding awkward chair. Now, let's inhale, press the palms back, open the chest, scoop the palms out, and lift up that big up bundle of energy while legs are active. Inhaling. Exhaling. Twice more. Inhaling. Exhaling. One last time, taking that deep breath in. Exhaling, coming up, and lowering the arms down. Beautiful. So one pose that's fantastic to open the hips, the pelvic bowl, and to let the spine lengthen and to work the core is called Warrior One. So we'll keep one foot facing forward, toes to the front of your mat. You want to step back where you still have that nice balance of the shoulders and the hips squared over each other. Now notice the back foot slightly turned out, so listen to how it feels. Bending the front knee, so your leg comes into a lunge. Let's take the arms out and lift. Notice how that feels. So we feel the strength in our legs, but we feel light and open through the ribs, lifting from the waist, reaching up towards that beautiful sky with our arms, and breathing. So we haven't talked a lot about breath today, but I want you to really now, when we're holding a pose, listen to the sound of your breath. Carry it not just in the belly, but carry it throughout the body. Where do you feel the strongest right now? Can you imagine the breath supporting you in that area? And then gently, let's take the arms down. Now, we're going to start to straighten this front leg. As I come forward, I'm going to slowly walk down the leg. So if you feel like you should keep your head above your heart or your spine in table, sometimes it's nice to have a chair out in front of you and then get a nice long stretch through your back. If you don't want to come all the way down to pyramid, let's set the hands down, letting the head release the neck and breathing. So we want to feel a balance in our hips. So if you feel like the back hip is turned out too much, just step your foot up a little bit. And then just softly inch the front hip back. Finding the breath. And then slowly lifting the heart space, soften the front knee, coming back up to Warrior One, inhaling. Now, as we exhale, let's add a beautiful twist to this Warrior One. So we move from the chest, from the ribs, we call the thoracic spine. If you feel like you want to drop your back hand, go ahead and then reach that front hand up, opening the side of your ribs, softening your gaze, and letting your eyes take in whatever is out in front of you. Let it explore the shapes, the colors, the textures, the beauty of what is. And then softly we'll reach out, scooping back hand forward to meet front, and then inhale, stepping up, exhaling. So let's go back to that little sequence of flow we did in the beginning. Inhale to come up. Good. Exhale, let's turn. Inhale to come up. Exhaling. Inhale to come up. Exhale down into awkward chair. Inhale, press back. Exhale, scoop up. Again, inhaling. Exhaling. One more time, taking a deep breath in. Now as we lift through the side ribs, bring your fingertips up. Lift the heart. So soak in the sun. Let it just melt into your face, or imagine the sun being above you. And then arms release coming up. Unwind the shoulders. Beautiful. So from your core, begin to now step back the other foot. Remember that each side of our body has its own personality, so we want to listen to that. Sometimes we can step back really deep and full and still maintain that open square. Sometimes we need to shorten it, especially if the hips are tight. So as we bend the knee, drop the shoulders, lift the arms up, and then take the shoulders down. But feel that you're lifting from your waist up the ribs under your arm, right up through your fingertips. Let the breath come in. Let the breath go out. Do that a few times. Feeling the breath not just again in the belly, but other parts of your body. What about closing your eyes and feeling it in your back body? And then lowering the arms out in front of you. We'll take our twists now, so we'll slowly turn to open. We'll lower the arm down if we wish, and reach up. Breathing in, breathing out. And then as that hand scoops out, we inhale to come up. As we softly straighten through the front leg, our journey takes us forward. So again, maybe a wall, ledge, or a chair is just what you need right now. Balancing the hips, or maybe you want to come down a little bit further. Walking yourself down, letting your head and neck relax. Now from this journey, I'm going to have you slowly transition now into downward facing dog. So we're going to spin around the back foot so we're on the ball. Take the front foot, have it join the back foot. Now hands are forward of the shoulders, spread your fingers in a 5-pointed star, yielding into your hands. As we walk the feet back and out, we want to feel the body become an inverted V. So the spine is nice and long, but our hips are giving us a lot of support, just as the legs are feeling the strength as well. Make sure that you can move your head gently side to side and we're not tensing up the shoulders. This is a wonderful all over balancing stretch from hands to feet. You can pedal through the feet and start to pump the knees. That's a nice way of moving energy through. And then letting the heels become heavy, we're going to slowly lower the knees down. Untuck the toes as you breathe in. And then exhale, we're going to come back into extended child's pose. So the elbows are lifted, the spine is long, the sits bones reach to the heels. Head can rest down on your mat or even place a pillow underneath your forehead. Remembering that yoga is about supporting ourselves. And then on your next inhale, let's come forward. So now as we come forward, I'm going to inch my knees back and you'll have 3 options. You can slowly come down, resting into what we call Sphinx pose. So we draw the elbows down underneath the shoulders. With the hands forward, you can lift the elbows and come up into seal, which is another wonderful way to lift the floating ribs. A nice strong back bend, navel into the spine. Or you can slowly walk your hands underneath the shoulders, but being mindful that the elbows reach back behind you. Feeling the earth right underneath your hands. As you yield into your hands and push forward, we can come into cobra. So it's finding the right back bend that fits you. We shouldn't be experiencing any pain. We should be feeling pleasure in our back bend, but we want to do this safely. Now take another deep breath in as the heart opens. Let's bring ourselves down as the belly starts to melt. Bend your knees. Sway your feet side to side. This helps to break up congestion in your lower back. It's a nice massage across the belly, the hip bones. Now, as the legs extend out and the heart starts to come up, let's take our hands. Just imagine you're wiping your hands down the mat, turning them up. Eyes are forward, open heart, and we can include lifting the feet, the knees, squeezing through the inner thighs. Draw the breath in, breathing out, breathing in again, breathing out. 2 more times, breathe in, breathing out. We're going to do this 1 more time, full breath, and then gently coming down. Now I'm going to take my hands on top of each other, rest the forehead, bend the knees again, and sway side to side. We always want to feel that our back bends are nourishing. So that nourishment is very important. And then again, opting to come into either downward facing dog. So you would yield the hands to the front, draw the hips back, or child's pose. So drawing the energy and our focus and our attention to what feels best for us. If you feel like you want a little bit more stretch through your legs, you can extend the legs back and up behind you. And then slowly we're going to all take the knees down, either under the chest or out to the side, inch the hips back. We'll slide the hands right alongside our feet and rest. Just taking a moment to surrender. Allowing the mind to clear of distracting thoughts as we listen to the sound of our breath. And then slowly we're going to make our way now around to take our legs in front. So we're going to move into a seated forward fold. So a few options here with that. You might want to put something underneath your knees, especially if your hamstrings are tight. You might want to use a strap or something to extend out towards your feet. And you always want to make sure that your shoulders stay relaxed away from the ears. So as you're just starting and taking those slow steps, you think about walking down your legs. And this might be it. This might be it. And that's okay. But if it feels good to fully extend, remember you can opt to bend the knees. We would drop down, extending the elbows out to our sides. Eyes can gaze out, or we can let the head come down. And we breathe, feeling the breath come in and feeling the breath go out. Inhaling the heart to come up. We open the arms, we're going to slide one foot in, and then gently we're going to wrap the arm and hug the knee in. If you want to go into a deeper twist, take your elbow to the outside of the knee as you turn. Your head can turn towards that back shoulder. And then slowly we wander back around to center, inhaling. And then exhaling, moving from your belly. So think about how that would feel as you turn. Back hand is behind for support. Elbow comes to the outside of the knee, or just hug that knee in. Head can turn and you can look back. And then coming around to center. Let's turn the knees out, bringing the bottoms of our feet together and just gently let the knees butterfly up and down. So as we drop the knees out, you can keep your feet in cobbler pose or you can cross your ankles. Let's finish with, now, using the tip of our nose. So we're going to close our eyes. You may want to watch first and gently draw circles. So we'll start in one direction. Sometimes this is nice to just start your yoga practice with, especially if you've really been active in your mind. Lots going on, busy distractions, you're feeling the tension in your neck and your shoulders. Let's go the other way. So use your nose to retrace that circle. And then come back to center, inhaling up, exhaling. Let's take our energy and move us side to side as we stretch our fingers. So remember, yoga is about you. We connect the body, we connect the mind, we connect the breath. So whether your practice is with a group or by yourself, whether you have just time to sit and breathe or a few minutes to add movement, we call asana, it's all good. It's all part of self-care, mindfulness. And that starts from within, because again, when we take care of ourselves, we then can wrap all of that wonderful goodness around our families, our communities, and then spread all that goodness out into the world, blanketing the universe, and always adding love and light to all creatures and beings. I'm Susan Rubenstein, and I thank you for joining me today through our journey into yoga. Namaste.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.